Welcome to the TBX trading channel once again, and today we are going to be talking about support and resistance and how to trade support and resistance. But before we jump right into support and resistance, let's do a little bit of preview about the analysis we took early this week about what we're expecting the market to do this week. And the first thing that we did was AUDCAD. You can check out our previous video to check out our analysis on AUDCAD. I think that should be the first video I posted in this channel, and I also did the preview about AUDCAD on the second video I posted in this channel. So as you can see, AUDCAD did exactly what we expected it to do. So I was expecting price to break this zone, as I think as at last week price, as at early this week price was around this, yeah, I think this red candle when we did this video, and I was expecting price to break this zone and retest it. Then I'll be looking for an entry reason, and this would have been a dope entry reason, but I wasn't online when this doji formed, so I took the trade when these double tops was tested. So as you can see, price has taken our TP, and this wasn't part, I don't think this was part of the analysis I dropped, but let's just check it out. CADJPY, this is a trade I've been opening for a while now. As you can see, it's going well. But let's look at the trades that we talked about in our last video. We also talked about the EURCHF, and as you can see, the price has done exactly what we talked about and has taken our TP. This is about 1 to 1.4 reward to risk ratio, or risk to reward ratio. We also talked about EURGBP when we said we'll be waiting for price to enter to hit either this zone or this zone before we taking our trade. So personally, I think I'll be waiting for price to form a double bottom before taking this trade. I don't think I'll be taking any trade here without seeing a double bottom, because price broke this range. There was a range here. Price has been ranging here for a while, and price broke the range to the downside, which is giving a nice like bearish pressure. It shows like it's showing a nice bearish pressure. But before I can take this bullish trade, before I can buy to this area, I have to see a double bottoms. It's going to be a risk, so I think I'm going to be risking very little of my account in this trade. So let's take it. EURJPY. Sorry, let me change this. EURJPY. As you can see, EURGBP is doing exactly what we expected it to do, and going down to GBPJPY. Price has almost taken our take profit, and let's jump down to the stocks that we talked about in the last video. We also talked about crude oil. And I told you guys that crude oil, I am expecting price to since price is retesting an all-time high in an uptrend. I still expect price to break that all-time high and continue in that long-term uptrend. So, and as far as the price, and if price is going to continue in the long-term uptrend, I'm not going to have a take profit, but probably I might take a profit about when price gets to 1 to 2 risk to reward to risk ratio, risk to reward ratio. I might take a partial profit here and leave the price to continue until I see crude oil showing me a sign of reversal, or when I see break of structure in crude oil. We also talked about DXY. Now DXY, I actually missed this trade, but it's nice to see that price did exactly what we said it was going to do. We said it was so I think I'll be looking for trades probably here, or when price breaks this high. So let me just show you guys a little bit of proof that we actually took this trade. It's nothing much, it's just screenshots that I took, I think a day after or the same day I took these trades. So as you can see, screenshot 18th January 2022. This was crude oil. I changed the green to gold, or is it gold or yellow? Just meaning that I don't think I'm not planning on closing this trade anytime soon. And this is AUDCAD. This is when I took the screenshot. Prices were removed. EURCHF. This is when I took the screenshot. EURJPY. This is when I took the trade. After I took the trade, I told you guys then I was looking for a red candle, and I took the trade when I saw this red candle. So the price played with me a little bit and almost hitting our stop loss, but it's still where it is now. And GBPJPY, this was where it was when we took the trade. I take around here. I took the trade when I saw this red candle. This the red candle is kind of my like color change. It's kind of my aggressive entry, and I think that's all. That is all. So now I think we're going to jump back into what we're going to do today, which is support and resistance. Now, what is support and resistance? Support and resistance are zones, like there are major zones in the market in which price tests multiple times, or price has tested multiple times due to certain reasons, maybe due to banks investing money into the market, into a certain market, or into a certain asset, or banks would taking out money from certain assets. So because these zones have been tested multiple times, it means that anytime price is approaching those zones, or anytime price reaches those zones, this something must happen. So it means that these are zones that we are expecting price to reach or to get to, and once price has gotten to those zones, we are expecting price to do something. No matter how little it is, price will surely react to a support or a resistance. And since we know that price is surely going to react to a support or a resistance zone or area, we have to use the that ideology to our advantage and be like, okay, since we know that price is going to react to a particular zone, let's look for trades in those zones. So let's look at DXY. As you can see, price has tested this area before. Now when price came back to this area, even though price broke it a little bit, it still came back into the area, like price did something. You can see this reaction. If you notice here, price just moved, price got here, played a little bit, moved, but when it got here, you can see that price reacted. No matter how little the reaction is, price still reacted to that area. But you have to note one thing, and that is support and resistance are zones in which price has been tested multiple times by price. Now, and if you look at this chart, in order to draw your support or your resistance, you have to look for zones, areas that have been tested multiple times by price. Now, just looking at this chart, you can see that price has tested here, here, and don't forget, support and resistance, they are not lines, they are zones that have been tested multiple times. That is from here to this to here. Areas, zones that has acted as support, zone that has tested price multiple times. Sorry. Now, as you can see, price has tested here, here. If you go back to previous markets, you can see that price has tested here. You have to get as much touches as you can get. Price has tested here, price has tested here. Now, since you already know that support and resistance are zones in which price has tested multiple times, now what is the difference between support and resistance? Now, support is the zone. Let me draw this. And this. Now, support is a zone in which price retests. Let's say price has been going bullish. Support is a zone in which price tests. It is a pullback for an uptrend. Let me say it like that. A support is a zone in which price tests before continuing an uptrend or before moving bullish. The zone in which price tests before moving bullish is called support. Why? The zone that price tests before moving bearish is a resistance. That is, when price moves from here to here, this zone that price hits before coming down to this zone is the resistance, while this zone that price hits below before moving upward is the support. So this is the support. Let me make the support red, red, and let me leave this resistance as blue. So this is the support and this is the resistance. Now let's assume we've understood what support and resistance is. Now let's go to the second thing for today. That's how to identify and trade support and resistance. Now, how do you identify support and resistance? As I've said earlier, there are areas in which price has tested multiple times. And as you can see here, the price has tested here, 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 here. As you can see, price has tested in multiple times. So we know that that's how we know that this is a support, and that's how we know if it's a resistance. Now, how do you trade support and resistance? Now, in order to trade with support and resistance, since we already understand the fact that support and resistance, that price are zones in which price will always get to either relax or continue the trend. That is, price will always get to a support or resistance, as you can, so either relax. That is, you see, price broke this resistance. Price coming from here. Let me remove this. Price coming from here, it's this resistance, then broke the resistance. That is, the resistance became support, down to this up to this other resistance. When price got to this resistance, price came back to rest to the previous resistance it broke, which became support. Then price is going to continue doing the same thing. So going to continue breaking. I see that price has broken this resistance, as you can see, and I see that price has broken this resistance. It's going to come back. It might not get back to this previous resistance that it broke, but it's still going to retest a particular resistance. Since this is an uptrend, it's still going to retest a particular resistance it previously broke, which is already which we become a support. I don't know if I'm making sense. Now let's continue. So how do you trade the support and resistance? So since we already know that price is definitely going to hit a support or resistance zone. That means that since we already know price is going to hit a support or resistance zone, it means that anytime price is approaching any support or resistance that we've drawn, we should be prepared to take certain actions, so that when price gets to our zone or support, we should be prepared to take certain actions. That is, most times price move from a support, it moves, or a resistance, it moves from a support or resistance zone to another support or resistance zone. In short, price move from a support zone to a resistance zone, or a resistance to a support zone. So since we already know that, anytime you are seeing price approaching, probably price is approaching maybe this price, when after this price has broken this resistance and became support, we know that price has gotten to this resistance. What should we be expecting? We should be expecting the price to either come back to retest this support or retest another resistance, because you know that when price has gotten to a support or resistance zone, it has to react to that support or resistance zone. So once we have gotten to that support or resistance zone, we have to take that support or resistance zone to our advantage. That is, since we know this is an uptrend and price broke this zone, we will be expecting the price to retest, then we'll start looking for entries. Probably you wait for the price to get to this area before you buy, or you sell down to this area before you buy. Now, explaining support and resistance is a little bit difficult for me, but let's go to how to trade. How do we trade with support, or let's say techniques of trading support or resistance? So I'm going to assume you already understand what support and resistance is, but if you don't, drop a comment in the comment section below, and I'll try to make another video to better explain what support and resistance is. But today we're going to be looking at how to trade, or how to improve your strategy with support and resistance, how to better trade support and resistance. Now, the first thing we're going to be looking for now is before you draw support and resistance, there's one thing beginner traders do all the time. Anytime they want to draw their support and resistance, they like to draw every single support and resistance they see in the market. That is, support and resistance, as I've said, there are areas where price has tested multiple times. That is, if you look at this, price has tested here, multiple times. So you can call that support and resistance. You can call this support and resistance. You can see price has tested here, price has tested here. But if you continue doing this, you're only going to make your chart look somehow weird, and you won't be able to trade properly, because you won't have any, you won't be able to focus on a particular zone or a particular area, and you might end up missing trades or entering at terrible places in the market. So in order to trade support and resistance, as Stephen Hart would say, you have to look for two major things: recency and frequency. That is, you have to look for areas in the market that price has recently tested. That's number one. Now, look at this trend. Let me look at this trend. Okay, this one. Look at this trend. As you can see, this is an uptrend. We are looking for areas in the market that price has recently tested. So recency, that's recency, and you can see these are areas in the market that price has recently tested, because price just broke this, price just moved, came down and broke this. So this is very recent, this is very recent. So I think I'll be drawing something here. This is very, very recent. Very recent. So I don't have a strategy for how wide your support or resistance should be. That's totally your choice. And the second thing after recency should be frequency. And as you can see, price has tested here. So, but this support, okay, yeah, this is one support. Then I can also draw something like this, the same thing here. This is also very recent, although this is actually more recent than this. Let me change the color of this back to blue, and this back to blue. Although this is this area, this support is actually more recent than this, as in talking about this trend. This is actually more recent than this, but the fact is that there's more of a tendency that price gets to this zone and not get and might not get to this zone. And the reason being is that price is in an uptrend, is going up, testing this. It might go up just and retest this zone. This is called a medium pullback. Yes, price can still come back to test this zone, but the fact is that there is a very high possibility that it tests this zone before moving upward. And if you look at price again, you can also draw another support zone here. I try don't draw this many zones when I take trades, but just for the case, you can also draw another zone here. And reason being that price has broken this area, this high. As you can see, price has broken this high, and I think it came to it retest here, then continues uptrend. So since you've already figured out that price has broken this high and price has broken this side, so it means that the possibility for price coming down to these two zones is actually very, very slim. In fact, if price is coming back to these two zones, I'm going to be looking for a reversal. So we're going to delete this to those two zones, and the reason is because you need your chart to be to be as neat as possible. When your chart has too many lines, it confuses you. It's gonna confuse you. So you need your chart to be as neat as possible. So if you know you can't get the most recent zone, the best thing to do is you can draw, like what I did earlier, draw the zones, then start to analyze them. Which one is more recent than the other? So you remove the ones that you know that are least recent. So since I know that price has this is the most recent zone, and since price is above this zone, this is the support zone. A zone in which price is above is a support zone, and a zone in which price is below is a resistance zone. That's a nice definition for support and resistance. So let's play this. Let's see what price did. Now, if you can see, the price did something here. Let me do something. Let me remove this. Another thing you can do to get support and resistance zone is to, I said frequency and recency and frequency, but the fact is that if you look at the previous market and you can't find any zone the best thing, this is a support zone and we need the resistance. And since I can't find any resistance, what am I going to do? I'm going to take an horizontal line and place it on my the highest high of my recent candle, or the last candle that has been closed. Then I'm going to go far back to the previous prices. Then I'm going to look for my recency and frequency right there. So since this is where price is currently, so where do you think the support and my resistance zone is going to be? It's going to be right here. You need a zone that has been tested multiple times. So price has tested it here, 1, 2, 3. So that's been tested multiple times. So since I've gotten my support and I've gotten my resistance, what do I do? These are not mistakes most traders make. See, a trader can get something like this and just take, okay, this is my support zone, this is my resistance zone. Let me take my trade and do something like this. This is very, very, very wrong. This is very, very wrong. You don't pursue market, or you don't pursue price. You have to wait for price to get to your zones before you take your trades. Now, since price has since price has left this support zone and it's in between this support and resistance zone, what do? You wait for price to either retest this zone, then you'll be looking for buys to this zone, or you wait for price to hit this zone, then you'll be looking for sales to this zone. It's as simple as that. Now let's see what price did. So price moved. As you can see, it tested the zone and gave a nice doji. Sorry, this thing is not paused. It tested the zone and gave us a nice doji. Very soon we're going to talk about very soon I'm going to do a video about candlestick and candle charts. Now, as you can see, this is a very, very good entry reason. Price gave a very good entry. So if you are the kind of person that loves to counter trade, yeah, you can sell from here down to this zone, and if you can see, and price eventually hits the zone, then when price hits this zone, we're going to be looking for an entry reason in order to buy to the upper in order to buy. This is an uptrend. As you can see, this is another mistake that most traders make. Mistake number 2. Most traders like to, maybe this lack of patience. When price got to this area, some traders will be like, okay, now if you can see this zone, this is where it is. These are the highest highs of, I don't know if you know, you can see what I'm talking about, the highest highs of this area. So most traders will be like, oh my god, price almost hit my zone, let me be looking for trades. That is very, very, very bad. That is very, very bad. You should wait for price to hit your zone before you should be looking for trades. If price almost hit your zone, it doesn't touch your zone, so you have to wait for price to get into that zone before you should be looking for trades. And that's exactly what happened there. Price got into the zone. Price got into the zone. Now, since price has got into my zone, the next thing I'll be looking for is an entry reason, because this is an uptrend, so I'll be looking for buys. So one of the best entry reasons that you can use to trade support and resistance zone is double tops or double bottoms. So once price gets to this zone, the next thing I'll be looking for is the double bottoms. And let's continue. As you can see, price has entered the zone. It's moved up, and there, price has formed a double bottoms, and my entry reason for a double bottoms is a green candle. It means price has, I must say, at least one or two, I must say at least two candles forming down, and I must say at least two candles going up. Then I must see another at least two candles entering the zone again, testing the close of this candle, or then I must see another green candle. That's with double top bottoms. So let me just do something like this. Let's say we take this trade here, or let's say we take this trade here. And we'll put this right about here. Then we have something like this, or let me just say a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio. Now, there's another thing I want to say, but I'm going to show you after this trade has been so let me just speed this up a little bit. But then, as you can see, price has taken a take profit. So that's one example for support and resistance. Now let's check out another currency pair. Now this is AUD USD, Australian dollars. Now Australian dollars, as you can see, price is approaching I'll call this, let me draw, I don't know if you can see it, but price is approaching this zone, or let's say price has already gotten to this zone. I can call this my resistance, but the fact is that if you see this, if you look at this chart, price has already gotten to this zone, and we need a zone where price is going to. There's no point drawing a support. I can't just get to a chart and draw a support or a resistance zone exactly where price is. That is, I don't want to say it is wrong, but what's the point? You are drawing a support and resistance zone to look for trade. So why would I be drawing the support, or why would I be drawing the zone exactly where price is? So I need somewhere that price is approaching, so that I'll be able to take trades to those areas. Now, if you look at this, price is already here, but if you look at this area here, price is still approaching this area. So this is going to be my resistance, and as my support, you have to understand structure. As my support, you can see that price is going like this, it broke here like this, and this is the recent high, and before this is the recent high price broke. So that is going to be where my support is going to be, around that area. And you have to ask yourself two questions. Is this recent? Yes, this is very, very recent. And has it been tested multiple times? Let's check. It has been tested here, it has been tested here, it has been tested here, it has been tested here. if I shift this up a little bit, I have to make sure that it has been tested multiple times. So after I've gotten our support and resistance, what's the next thing we do? We wait for price to either hit this zone, this resistance zone, or wait for price to either to come back to retest the support zone. So since this is an uptrend, I'll be looking for buys. Now let's play this. Let me just make this as fast as possible. Now as you can see, price got to our resistance zone, but unlike the others, price broke this zone. So since price broke this zone, the resistance becomes support. Now since the resistance is now support, what are we going to be waiting for? We'll be waiting for price to enter this zone and to give us a nice entry reason. Now you see price has entered this zone, so we'll be waiting for a double tops, which has a double bottoms, which has already happened here. As you can see, when price got here, this touched the zone, but it is somehow too shallow. I can't really call this a touch, so I still have to wait for price to come back to the zone. And when price got here, it came back to the zone and it tested the close of this candle, and it gave me a nice entry reason, which is a green candle, and you can see it continued in the uptrend. So you would have made money from this, like a lot of money from this. So let's look at another example. Now, support and resistance zone is not only limited to only currency pairs. You get questions like, can you use the same? Can you trade other assets using support and resistance the same way you trade it on currency pairs? The answer is yes. And this is a crypto. Although most of this, every single thing here is cherry picked, but I hope you guys understand the point. Now, as I've said earlier, I can't be drawing support and resistance zone here. You can, but I don't really like it. So because price has already got into this zone, so what I'll be looking for is drawing my support and resistance in zones that I'm expecting price to get to, not zones that price is already in. That is, price recently broke. This is XRP/USD. So price left this zone. Has it been tested multiple times? Yes. Is it very frequent? This is very, very frequent. And if price breaks this zone, well, where do you think it's going to get to? Right here. So we'll draw our support and resistance again. As simple as that. So what are we going to do? We're going to wait for price to get to either this zone or this zone. Or if you look at this chart very, very well, you notice that this is also a zone. It's also a zone, and there's a tendency that price, this is where I usually use either horizontal ray or the rectangle. Price can also get to this zone, which is called a medium pullback. Price getting to this zone is called a deep pullback. But price can also get to this zone. It's still also very recent before coming down to this zone here. So and that's the second reason why price can come to or I think should come to this zone, is because if you look at this chart very well, you find out that this is a double tops. 1, 2 double tops, and if price will be coming back to this zone, that will be the retest of the double tops. So now what I will be expecting from price is that if price should either come to this zone and give me an entry reason to sell down to this zone, or price should get to this zone and give me an entry reason to either sell or break this zone, retest this zone, then I'll be looking for a buy. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Price should either get to this zone, give me an entry reason to sell down, or price should get to this zone to give me an entry reason to sell down, or price can break this zone. Price can break this zone. If price breaks this zone, this is a resistance zone, don't forget, and a zone in which price is a zone in which price is below it is called resistance zone. And if you look at this zone, price is below this zone, this is a resistance zone. So price can break this zone, and once price breaks the zone, price will be above the zone, so which turns the resistance zone into a support zone, and retest, then continue this trend. But so we already set for whatever price is going to do. That's the joy about support and resistance zone. Support and resistance zone doesn't give you, it gives you room to prepare for every single possibility you think price can do. Forex traders are not magicians. You can't just sit down and predict exactly what price is going to do. You have to be prepared for anything that the price is going to do. So as with these three zones, I'm prepared for anything this price is going to do. So let's check out what happened. As you can see, price went back to that zone, tested it. Now, as you can pause, thank you. Let me just keep it playing now to make this video shorter. So as you can see, price came back to this. It tested this zone, but it didn't really test it like that. So then it came down to this and didn't get to this zone. So I didn't think I'll be taking any trade. But price then did something. Price did something. It came after breaking this zone. After testing this zone, although this is a daily time frame. If you go down to a lower time frame, I can be looking for a trade in this zone to sell down. But let's say I'll be taking my entry from this time frame. I won't be taking any trade from this zone with this retracement. When price came down, price did something. It came down and came to test this zone. So it means that since price didn't come back to this our zone, the zone is let's say invalidated. So we're going to shift our zone down to the second or the most recent zone price is testing at that moment. So when price came back to this zone, it tested it the first time. Maybe the first time I did not really take the zone seriously, but it came down and tested that same zone again. Has it answered your two questions, recency and frequency? Yes, it is very recent and it has been tested frequently. And if you look at this inverted hammer, that's a very good entry reason. So you could place your trade, then sell down to this area. And if you continue playing, you find that price will eventually. Most of these are cherry picked. This doesn't go exactly like this in real life. There are sometimes that you analyze, you get price gets your support zone, you get a double tops or a double bottoms, and yet price still hit your stop loss. So, but the fact is that more than usual, price is going to obey, or let's say follow the support or the resistance. Now, as you can see, price has gotten to this zone. All we're expecting price to do, we're expecting price to, now where's my horizontal line? Now I'll be drawing my horizontal line here. I said something earlier that I don't really like drawing my support or resistance zone exactly where price is, but this is going to be an exception, and the reason being is that this support zone I'm drawing here is drawn on let's look at this like this. Price broke this high, created a new high and is retesting. So you can see that this is a swing, but it is very, very small. But since this is a swing, and price is definitely going to come back to break, and my price is definitely come back to test the swing, it means that there's going to be a continuation of the uptrend. So I'm not expecting price to come down to this zone. I'm not expecting price to come down to this zone. But the fact is that I'm still gonna draw my support and resistance zone, and the last thing I'm going to draw here is I'm not expecting price to get back to this place because this is an uptrend. But as I've said earlier, support and resistance gives you the room to prepare for every single scenario possible. So the most likely scenario I'll be expecting from here is for price to bounce back and continue this uptrend. The main reason why I drew this support here is because this is a swing. I can't draw this support and resistance below a swing and be expecting price to come here and continue an uptrend. If price is getting to this area, that is going to be a break of structure, which is going to cause a reversal. So if I'm expecting an uptrend, this is the only possible support I can get out of this trade. So that's why this is an exception. So what I'll be doing now is I'll be waiting for an entry reason. Right, a double top, a double bottoms. That's it. So this is going to be my entry. Price came down, at least 2 candles coming down into the zone, at least 2 candles going up, at least 2 candles retesting that zone, then a green candle. Then if I do something like this, take my trade here. Believe me, this doesn't work all the time, but it works sometimes. Price should most definitely break this high. As you can see, price came into our zone, then price should most definitely break this line. So as you can see, we have taken a profit already. So the only reason why I drew this support below this zone was because this zone is for the zone for if price want to continue the trend. Why this zone? It is for if price breaks structure and wants to start a downtrend. That's the reason why I drew this zone. Why this zone is for if price want to continue the trend just like it did now. And let's look at stocks. Does this same support and resistance work in stocks, or is it the same for stocks? Let's check it out. Okay, so for stocks, now let's look at this. Where is the most recent and where is the most frequently tested area, the most recently and frequently tested area? Should I give you guys like 2 seconds to look at it? I don't know if you have spotted it, so but I don't know if you guys can see it with me. This is the most recently and most frequently tested area. Now some of you might ask that why didn't I put this here to form a nice support, and at least this is recently tested. It's even more tested, it's even more recently tested than putting it here. And the reason why I can't put this, sorry, this is annoying. And the reason why I can't put this here is because price has broken this high already. And price has, where's my arrow? Price has broken this high already, this high. It has retested the high and it has broken this high. So if price will be coming back, the only place permitted for price to come back is here. This is the only place permitted for price to come back to. Price is not permitted to come back into. It's not permitted to break this zone like this low. Price is not permitted to break this low at all. And since price is not permitted to break this low, this can't be the zone. Instead, this is supposed to be the zone because price is permitted to enter into this zone. Price is permitted to enter into this zone, to play inside this zone, but it's not permitted to break this zone at all. And since price is not permitted to break this zone, because if price breaks this zone, it's going to be a break of structure, and we are going to be expecting another trend aside from this uptrend. So it means that because of that, the support, this is where the support is going to be. Now, what is our resistance going to be? If you remember in the beginning of the video, I said to get a resistance, we are going to put an horizontal line right about here. Then we are going to go back to the previous market. We're going to go back to the previous market. Oh my god. So since I think this is the all-time high. since this is the all-time high, there's no previous markets, what are we going to do? We're just going to wait for price to come back. If there was another high, they would have placed our support. Let's put an example here. Would have done something like this. Then we'll be waiting for price to get to the zone. Then when price gets to the zone, we'll be looking for sell reasons to come down. But since there's nothing like that, what are we going to do? We're going to wait for price to get back into this zone before we can take any trades. So let's see what price did. Price got back into the zone. Now what are we waiting for? We're waiting for an entry reason. Probably a double bottoms. But double bottoms is very, very effective. Now, as you can see, price got to the zone and broke the zone. Now, if I were to be, let's say I was very, very anxious, and as price got to this place, I bought, then it means I might have lost the trade. What price did was that price got into the zone and broke the zone. Does it mean that price is going to continue selling? I don't know. But before I would take my trade, I have to wait for my entry reason. Price hasn't given me any type of entry reason. Maybe it's going to sell or it's going to buy. But breaking the zone is a bearish signal. So price is moving. I think let me increase this time a little bit. Now, as you can see, let me pause this. I forgot. When price broke the zone, price got back here, and I didn't pause this, and tested this area. To be sincere, I might, if this were to be a live market, I might have not taken this trade because this didn't satisfy my. I think the reason why I took this asset was because I thought this was a double bottoms. But if this was to be a live market, I wouldn't take this trade because this isn't a double bottoms according to my own trading strategy. So I won't take this trade no matter how tempting it is. And I can't take the trade from here also because price broke this zone, which is indicating bearish period, which means the buyers in the market are getting tired. And it ended up being a false breakout, which continued, and price continued anyway. So I think let's look at the last stuff for today, and that's Microsoft. So this is live market, and this is not a bar replay. So this is going to be the last assets we're going to be looking at today, and probably by next week, maybe or this week Saturday, I'm going to drop some analysis for the next week using support and visually support and resistance. So now looking at Microsoft, I don't know if you can pause the video for like 5 seconds and identify where you think the support and the resistance is. Now if you look at this very, very well, you find that as I said earlier, price is already here, and since price is already here, I wouldn't. Is this a support or resistance? I think should be, since price is still inside, this should be a support. But the fact is that price is already in that zone already. Why should I be drawing a zone where price is already at? I'm drawing my zones to waiting for price to get there so that I can take buys or sales. So price is already at this zone, so I don't think I'll be calling this one my support zone, except for the fact that this is an uptrend. That is, price is still in an uptrend. Let me show you guys something. I don't want to confuse you guys because I don't want you guys to see something like this and say that okay, I can't call this place my support. The only reason why I'll be calling this place my support now is because this is an uptrend. That is, price, the only two things that price can do here to continue this uptrend is to the only two things that price can do here to continue this uptrend is to either test this zone and or this zone. And since that is the only two things that price can do to continue the uptrend, then I'm still permitted to draw this support right here. But the fact is that if this was a downtrend, maybe this was a downtrend, I wouldn't be drawing anything here because I'll be expecting price to definitely get to this place. Price might and might not get to this zone. Price getting to this zone is called a deep pullback. So while price moving from this zone is called a shallow, it's called a medium pullback. So since this is an uptrend and this is a zone in which price is expected to reverse from, like there is a possibility where price can reverse from this zone, then I can definitely draw my this thing, because I'll be looking for reasons to enter a buy trade here, not to short the trade. So that is, I'll be waiting for probably double bottoms or an hammer or an engulfing candle or whatever entry reasons I usually use. So that is, I'll be expecting something like this, price to move up, then come down, then I'll be looking for an entry. Then where do you think I'll be taking my take profit from? I should be taking my take profit at my take profit. The first take profit I'll be taking will be from this zone. Now there are two very important things I want to say before the end of this video, and the first one is anytime you are trading support and resistance, anytime you are trading support and resistance, you have to know the fact that if you are trading a trending market, something like this, if this is your support, and this is your support and this is your support, that is, price can get here for a medium pullback and get it for a deep pullback, and price eventually tests your support, and let's say you've probably gotten your entry reason. Where should you take profit? That's the best place to take profit is the next support, the next resistance. This I'm talking about an uptrend now. The next resistance after the high of your recent resistance, that is the next resistance after your recent high. That is, if there was another resistance right about here, probably from, you've checked that for recency and frequency, and you've gotten your resistance here, the best place to take your profits is here, because price will most definitely, for an uptrend, break this high. So when price let's say you got something like 1, 2, 3, and you have got your entry reason from here, the best place to take profit is after this recent high to the next high, because price will most definitely break this high. And the second thing you should always take note of is that you have to always wait for price to get to your support and resistance, or support or resistance zone, before you look for your trades. And once price has gotten to those zones, you should always wait for your entry reason. You can't just place a trade because price has gotten to your zone. Yes, I'm very good at getting excellent or perfect support or resistance zones, but that doesn't mean that the price is going to respect that zone. Now looking at this zone, price has gotten to this zone. The fact that price has gotten to this zone and this is an uptrend doesn't mean that the price will continue buying from this zone. I can't just say that, okay, price has gotten to this zone, this is an uptrend, so price should most definitely buy. This is very wrong. This is very wrong. If you trade like this, you're going to one day end up blowing your account. So, and this is the end of this video. So the next video we're going to talk about support and resistance strategy. So this video was just like a little, like review on what support and resistance is. So the next video we are going to be talking about a strategy based on support and resistance, how to convert support and resistance and put it into your own trading strategy. And I really hope that one is going to be way better than this one. So if you like the video, please like and subscribe. If you have any issues with the video, please tell us in the comment in the commenting section, and we'll try to make better videos. And if you have any question or you want us to make a video about a particular issue you have in Forex, drop it in the comment section. We'll read through all the comments and we'll get back to you. Thanks for watching. Bye.